Rant. The best moment of my life. Good for Gukesh. He earned it. Indian chess has earned it. India is the best chess country. I think even experts and grandmasters would agree. There's only one young American, well, even American, who has a chance to compete with India. Hikaru Nakamura has admitted he's only going to play one or two more candidate cycles. Of course, he's in that class. A few other Americans, no offense to them, they're very good. We imported from other countries. They're playing under the American Federation, and we're grateful. They're not American players. Fabiano Caruana is one of Italy's best players ever, who we should be thankful to have. And even Fabiano is like 32 or 33, so he won't be at his very best for too many more years in classical chess. There's only one American-born player who is even near the class of the 5 young Indian super grandmasters. That's Hans Niemann. Ruined. What did that quote by Gukesh say? The best moment of my life. I'm not a robot. Reputation and psyche, which is the most important thing for a chess player, over the past 2 years following the 2022 cheating scandal. Let's listen to this real quick. I'm going to grab I've already heard everything you said. Believe it or not, I do a lot of research before I run my mouth about anything.
Imagine you are 19 years old.
Imagine you're 19 years old.
Have the greatest victory.
Greatest victory of your life. Yep.
Your life. And you reach the top stage. And a multi-billion-dollar company, in combination with a company about to merge, and all the most powerful players accuse you of something you didn't do.
Yep.
And imagine it was impossible for you to prove your innocence, despite it being abundantly obvious. And imagine, Danya, like how you would feel if they continuously attacked you. So please think about it. Put yourself in my shoes and being a 19-year-old kid.
Accusing me of cheating right now.
Yes, but does that affect your life? Do you understand that I was literally branded as a cheater in all of the news when I didn't cheat? Do you understand all of this anal beads, all of this? Do you understand that I go outside and I have to live with this?
Yeah, because I lived once. They did it to me too.
Something that I didn't do. And you understand when you have reporters calling, your family,
and then you involve the family, and then you want him to go play the most complicated game at the highest level. That's why Magnus Carlsen did it. It was intentional.
You have reporters calling friends from 13 years old to try and find something.
To try and find something. And here's my thing. Let's say they did find something. I would still have a problem with the invasion of privacy and all that because of the reasons they were looking.
Someone to comprehend the insanity of what they unleashed upon me.
Yep.
Without experiencing it yourself. But what it makes me realize is that there are truly sick, evil people in the world.
Chess.com
and that has
can
given
burn
me
in
the
hell.
ultimate faith that I must defeat
CEO
them. And I've
his
defeated them on the
marriage
chessboard. And I'm going to continue to defeat them on the chessboard. And these people their head is so far up their ass.
Their head is so far.
They could not admit any fault.
Yep. And here's my perception of chess people now. Chess.com, the way their leadership handled it, I have to think that at least a lot of really good players who are nowhere near making a living with their play are just arrogant. It was a reach to merge online with over the board and keep them relevant after the chess boom was dying. It's every reason that average people don't play chess, which is not saying I believe this, but you're weird. You expect us to understand, but you don't explain. I don't belong. I don't feel welcome. And they just proved that to me.
What is Chess.com going to say? Oh, yeah, we lied in our Chess.com report? Are they going to admit that ever?
No. And how it works, Hans, is just like my situation. A decision is made at the top, and everyone underneath who wants to keep their job simply reads between the lines and does what they're supposed to. So there's might not even be that much direct proof of them telling them to ruin you, except for they were buying Play Magnus. And all the coincidences, but that's hard to prove in court, which is why he was going to lose his court case, just as had I done the normal thing with Walmart Corporate. The choice is yours, locking my tools, foreign workers, they've been copyright to be abused. I would be halfway through a never-ending court fight that I would lose.
Come on. They went so far and they lied so much that there's simply no way to even...
They deserve to burn in hell.
talk, right?
Yep.
There's not even way. How do you even?
And then when you don't talk, what chess.com or people like that will do is say, well, you're paranoid. There's something wrong with you. We'll see. No one's perfect, but let's. Okay, well, if he doesn't want to be reasonable, yeah, because you ruined his life. And in my case, I don't know in Hans's case. Well, no, I do know in Hans's case. You use his words against him, and then you act like he's crazy for not giving you more words or wanting to work things out behind the scenes so you can twist his character even more than you already did.
Speak to someone who just lies, blatantly lies, and then just uses all of their resources and money and power to just destroy your life.
Yep.
There's no
in any way
discussion to be had.
And with people like that, it's hard for good humans like my mom to understand. As Hans said, any way possible. They don't know a line. You don't have to understand what they're doing or why they're doing it. Just know they will find ways or create ways or break laws to win. And to me, Walmart Corporate is even more sick than that because chess.com is a global company, just as Walmart's a global business. They support India. They have a chess.com India. They have all that. Walmart goes out of their way. Chess.com promotes that they employ people from everywhere, and they do, and that's fine. Walmart talks about creating American jobs and all these things. And for them to do it is sick in a different way. Maybe it's not more sick. But just know some of the best people are people like Hans. And Hans might be a prick. I don't know. I know Bobby Fischer was a prick, which is the only reason America has any relevance in chess at all and any world titles. Maybe not. But Bobby Fischer was the only American to be head and shoulders above his competition. And he was super hard to get along with, super disagreeable, way worse than Hans Niemann. What if they would have just, at age 19, ruined Bobby Fischer's life so he can't compete? The Russians would probably still be dominating. But Fischer went alone and beat him. And you try to ruin Hans's opportunity. While Indian chess and the H-1B workers I worked with, some are not hardworking, some are. And in chess, at least they are legitimately good and talented. It's the best moment of my life. No one's calling his family except to congratulate him. And if Magnus Carlsen would have done that in India, India would have ran his ass out of India. That's the best player ever. I get it. India would say, not my people. And what does America do? Well, what if Magnus Carlsen doesn't come back to our tournament? Oh, shit. That'd be bad. It's really cool to have the best ever here. Oh, but Hans Niemann's just 60th in the world. A lot of people, I've seen it, 60th in the world. They never make that next jump. Maybe he wouldn't have made it anyway. We'll rationalize our behavior. Best moment of India's life. American worker had to fight for his and be at least 6 months behind on his training and chess improvement. And all they did was watch him suffer. He's 19 years old and act just like Walmart did to me. Well, he wouldn't. Why not just be professional? We're going to his mom because he can't handle his emotions. You're breaking the fucking law, and that was my alternative, was to break the law. You didn't coach, just like Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. A lot of people say he's a jerk, but he saves people's time. And if Kevin O'Leary said, Dayton, go back to a job, you suck, you know what I'd do? I'd listen to him, and I would consider it. Whereas if people just harass me from behind computer screens, piss me off by going to my mom without my permission, I'd say, fuck you. You don't treat people that way. Even if, and also just the message it sends to people like me, which I'm much easier to sell in chess business because I actually believe it's possible to learn. The vast majority of people do not believe chess is a game for them. And so when you do that to Hans Niemann, all they're going to do is say, well, I don't care. I don't even know Magnus Carlsen. But if they're going to ruin him and say he cheated for improving, why would I buy your tools to improve? Because what are you going to do to me? It's absolutely stupid business. It's disrespectful to America. And it's why India and a few other countries are going to kick America's ass while we are cocky and we think we can't lose. Let that be a warning. We can absolutely lose. And to chess business, I don't know that much about it. I know I didn't have referral, and chess was appealing for a lot of reasons. I worked in tech, and it had a lot of tech components with the AI and the engines to its objective. And I don't want to fuck with any of you except Hans Niemann. But seriously, good for Indian chess. Vishy Anand has, I'm sure, had a big role in all the young prodigies. And Vishy Anand was also outspoken when the Niemann thing happened, saying, look, maybe I'm not seeing things my colleagues are, but I think maybe they're paranoid. Vishy Anand and the Indian Super Grandmaster seem like a class act. And America better wake up. It's ignorant. It's ignorant and cruel to someone like Hans Niemann, or to put Americans in a situation where we have to protect ourselves while India and their top players have sponsors and everyone doing everything for them so they can focus on their game. Look at the Polgar sisters story. And that's why I'm kind of a prick now about Magnus. Had Magnus Carlsen's dad not sacrificed everything for him, we would never know if Magnus is any good or not. Because there'd be many young girls beating Magnus Carlsen. He'd be an engineer. Nothing against chess women. But I know Magnus Carlsen wouldn't like losing to a 10-year-old girl. And had his dad not sacrificed everything for him to train and play the best from a young age, when no one could have predicted Magnus was going to be as good as he became, then literally Magnus Carlsen is an engineer like I believe his dad is. And no one knows who the fuck you are, Magnus. So get off your high horse. And my opinion, stay away from America until you admit that you ruined Hans because he did the job he was given to the best of his ability and messed up your dream of 2,900. That's why he did it. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of prep for my over-the-board tournament. And we'll go into detail on my defamation situation, which in large part, again, led me to chess. But now that Trump's in office, I at least have a lot less to worry about. I'll play a lot better because I can sleep and not be in the state that Hans was when trying to learn and improve. The way I approach my studies, and again, aside from the great lectures and facilities of the St. Louis Chess Club, I don't want help. I don't want to be associated with anyone until that shit with Hans Niemann is not just resolved, but apologized for. And I don't care if you like him or not. I don't care. And I can go back to blackjack dealing. I'm not saying I am needed or wanted. I'm saying go fuck yourselves, all of you, until there are no anal beads jokes. And Hans Niemann is given every opportunity and sponsorship that the best Indian players are receiving because he's in that class or very close to it. And if I wanted to stay in the corporate world, where I've got to lie to the government to offshore jobs and bring people to live here that are not deserving, and we didn't search for Americans first, and we're going to cater to everyone but the American. I was already in that, and I already lost plenty in terms of my Cush benefits and stuff. So Hans Niemann, let me know, buddy. I'll take care of you if I can. And if I ever matter, I promise Hans Niemann will matter. Okay. But anyway, the way I approached chess is I do one quick review after the game, or at least the night of the game before I go to bed. Just really writing the notations and understanding my mistakes. I don't look at the opponent much. Then later, maybe after the tournament, I will actually go very deep, play it against a robot, look at the opponent's side, especially if it's a really good player, to understand how they beat me and at what point they were using more clock and what were they probably doing. Were they blunder checking? Did they see it immediately? Were they strategizing? Where do I need to get to, comparing myself to especially 1800s and above? And I have, I think, 6 games that I need to do my second review of. I'm a little behind. Some I played well, some through a combination of stress, taking care of my dog, being late, just underperforming. I mean, no excuses. You'll see some pretty poor decisions. But overall, I'm improving fine. Let's look at this one first. Settings. And one more thing to Hans Niemann or anyone in that situation, make it personal, especially if the company or the defamers want to involve their ethics or their personal lives in business or talk about, you should support us because of these things. And look, I'm a human being just like you. It's all fair game. It's all fair game. Because as Hans mentioned, his family was fair game. People harassing him for words. It's all fair game. You come at me as Jeezy says, my heart's become too cold to break. Having dreams, I'm floating cake. No, I'm great, but I'm broke as hell. I'm going to get it now. There's no debate. Thank you, Jeezy, for your wisdom. Okay, I played as black here. And why is it not loading? Come on now.
Hey,
video notes. Every hour, we'll go walking. About an hour, so I got to do this. Get this done. Load. Okay, so I have this one that I need to do my second review of. Round 5, which was a disappointing one, against a good player who's, I don't know if he got busy with work or what. He's down a little bit, and I had my chances. I just made one bad mistake. What do we have? Round 3 of September. Night. Who was round 3 against? Did I lose? No, I did win. Oh, that was 7-15. Well, I don't need to look at that unless there was something I wanted to see specifically.
The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote.
Okay, so I'll look at that one separately because I was a lot better, but apparently there was something in that game I noted I wanted to look at or could learn from. I just don't remember exactly. Okay, round 4 was the one I need to look at. I did lose that one, which was a disappointing loss. Okay. And then I also have round 1 of Thanksgiving Open. I will look at that separately because he was just a lot better than me. But there were a few good learning points. He was 2023, so I'm not going to beat him, but there were still some things that happened in that game that were good to look at. This one, round 3. The opponent made a very that was round 4. I took a second round by. As I often do. Round 3. There we go. Okay, so round 3. This opponent he's played a lot of online, so he's going to be like me. Very, very hard to know how good he really is. He made an opening mistake that I easily punished. Still, there were some things that are worth looking at. This game, this was a hard one. I will also look at that separately because I shouldn't have been in it, though mistakes are part of life, and I got my chances. So let's look at these 3. I'll then play a few games, take a shower, shut down the stream, and I'll look at those other ones. So let's start with, which one was this? 1500. Okay, I had to get a new book. I filled up my second or third book. Okay, so I played as white. I did lose. Let's look at it to refresh my memory here. Oh yeah, that was brutal. No, I'm human. Just for sheer embarrassment, I won't look at this. It was an awful game, but I remember it now. Yeah. Okay, so we have 2. We have 2. I didn't play great in, but are the best to analyze, or at least worth it. They were close-ish. A lot of things happen that are probably going to happen again. Okay, here we go.
Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces.
Go against Aaron. Goes against Aaron. Where is it? Okay. So I played fine here. Had the white pieces against 1700, which is great for me. That's winnable. Very winnable. Yeah. Okay. Bad decision here. And I won't lie. That's just a mental. That's not a knowledge. That's a mental thing. I got excited, but I didn't want to think or use my clock. There's no reason to take that. That's just absolutely silly. And also, I play too much online chess. That's my fault too. Develop bad habits. Play back to back to back. You quit thinking. Why on earth would I do that? Why would I give space and trade? My bishops are very strong. Because now, I mean, your bishop is opened up. Your pawns are pretty nice there. It's still fine. But realizing I made the mistake and I had a good position, I got in my own head a little bit. I allowed a not super obvious at my level tactic, but I should certainly always see that. And now I'm just going to lose. So let's look at that. It's fine. B3, H3, H3. Yeah. Okay. See, and my thought was, why do I really care yet? You got to look 2 moves ahead with the knights early on. The enemy knights, that is. Maybe I should get better at planning attacks with my knights or planning to control with my knights early on. But I generally, a lot of my games, I don't end up doing a lot with my knights until well into the middle game. Right or wrong, that's just where I'm at right now with my chess. Okay. Now, good find. That's important, but I should see that again. Have to take, of course, because if you don't, I steal. So if you wanted to retreat your knight, I'm going to win a pawn. Well, not necessarily. So let's say 98. That's right, and I calculated that over the game. It's been a while because you can't take, else my knight will support, my bishop will check, fork, and I'll win your queen. And then also I'll be winning that pawn if the rook were there. So that's why D had to take on E5. No. Why are you doing this? Don't do this with me. Go back to the original game. I don't need this in my life right now. I need no stress. No. Go back to the game itself. Take the pawn, as happened in real life. I'm so fucking done with it. Oh, that is what happened in the game. I'm losing my mind. So, okay, so he made the mistake. My fault. Sorry, chess.com. See, there you go. There's my error. Okay. I'm on track now. This is why we shouldn't wait too long after to do our second review. Now is when I have to let that sit there. Why would I remove my very good bishop? What am I doing? So I have to go queen, d3, rook e1, b3. I lived the b3. I didn't love b3. I don't know why I didn't love b3. But I did play it for some reason. Whether it's the right reason or not, I didn't. Okay, I gotta get comfortable, pull my bishops back. It's a big issue, of course. And this won't happen often against 1700s, is I got my bad mistake by the opponent. It's not a good choice. And I didn't bury him. And now I made the... Well, it's even harder now that I look back at it. Jeez. Jeez. It's fine. Doesn't matter much now. Now it really doesn't matter. Pull the bishop back. Give him too many targets. No, he played it fine. He played it. I'll play some more e4 as white probably this turn. I don't understand h3, but I do understand why I shouldn't have taken. I'm giving you my very good central pawn. And you're just going to get another one. It's a very poor thought process on my part. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of the right things. Playing a complete game is, I mean, every now and then I do, but it gets stronger players. Not consistently enough. Okay. Now, who is this? "39 moves. Yes. Okay. See, and what is encouraging, and I've said this for a long time now, so this opponent was rated I want to say, okay, only 1735, but I believe is up quite a bit after the last tournament. So these are things that I will see and I should see already. Not the reason I can't play at 1500 level. So keep my mind right. Picks a few things. I played as black here. Not be at a deficit out of the open. Get comfortable castling. I mean, like there's no reason to bring my queen there. A lot of times I get a little bit uncomfortable when the bishop could come, or has the option to later, or could even sacrifice itself. Of course, these level players would never do that. Just give me a bishop. But I don't like castling into that where I can't bring my bishop back to remove the pin if I need to later. Of course, that also entices me to play h6 or h3 or one of those moves before I want to, because I just don't want them to get that square so I can castle, but I need to get more comfortable with things. Now I'm just removing shit. Why? Why would I? There's no reason. It's just terrible. And again, I become addicted to online chess. I play online before, sometimes the night before. I've not slept much. I'm just doing dumb stuff. And I'm still in the games. See, and what's good, those little reads right there. Yeah, I didn't finish out the game well, but those little decisions there, that's not super easy for newer players to find, and I often make those just off of feel. But the end game, interestingly, a lot of the players at 1800 level, I think it's because they really want to get over that hump and make it to being one of the better ones in the open tournaments. And they kind of struggle with nerves more than I do. Maybe they have more to play for, and losing to me would hurt them. But in the end game, it's just knowledge. The end game, there's so many things that can happen in the end game, especially now that I'm playing better players. It's rarely the same pieces. Like this one kind of is similar pieces, but it's often a rook and a pawn versus two bishops. It's equal positions a lot of times, but it's pieces that are very different. So evaluating it is hard. Knowing how to win it is difficult until I've seen it. And I'm much worse in the end game when it comes to knowledge. And it often ends like this game did, which is I'm very much in it. I'm very much in it. But I'm having to think too much. In longer time controls, it's fine. I'm having to think way too much. And some things, it would be better if I just had either seen it or just know, so I don't have to think or risk making the wrong decision. That's all I got to do. All I got to do to probably draw. And then to the pressure there, you have to use a move to go. I take on G4. Now you're probably not going to promote, which will again lead to a draw. Oh, it's painful. It's fucking painful. And I get that pawn, then I can give you one of my pieces for that pawn, and we draw. So there's been many times. I've got one draw against an 1848, but I've been so close. I even almost won one against a 18, well above. It was above 8, like 1875 maybe. But I'm all over it. I'm hoping this is the tournament I break through and actually win a couple against these kind of players. I'm not that far off of them. Maybe if they can dictate the game in certain ways that I've not seen them do yet, I'm not going to be as strong in those positions. But overall, they're not that much better than me. I'm talking anyone, well, depending on their style and how the game goes. I can beat. I'm not saying I should or I will. I am capable of beating anyone below 1900 with white. I'm not saying it will usually happen. I'm going to keep getting closer and closer. And I think somewhere around once I actually earn an 1800 rating, which should be early to mid next year, I will hit a pretty tough plateau. Okay, but I understand. Okay. So that leaves us with Marcus, Richard, 1-2. Okay. Check. Marcus Richard, and then the new book, which is okay. A half. I don't need to look that hard. Got about 5 that I need to look at. Okay. All right, I have 11 in a row in rapid right now, which is probably my second best streak of all time. This is, I'm going to show my last win. This is why anyone can be 1800 on chess.com more realistically and with a little more effort and focus. 2000. I'm not playing well. A lot of these games I played at bars or restaurants or even at the club after I was already tired from a long game, and they're just not that good. If I played better, and sometimes I'm just practicing things. Like I watched a WGM Nemo video where she covered her hatred of chess books, or her boredom with chess books, I should say. But how
well done pouncing on that free piece.
Shut up. But how her parents made her read them as a kid. And using pawn structures that are not always considered good or don't come up commonly. which is why, I mean, I know, like, these little things, I know I'm not making the best moves here. I'm gonna allow my pawns to be doubled, I wanna practice. But usually I admit my mistakes are accidental. But sometimes online I am working on things, which where chess.com is a great tool. But it's an entertainment platform. Make no mistake, it's absolutely an entertainment platform first. Yeah, good decision there. A couple of not great decisions, but online again at this level, you're gonna get a mistake back, and I got a mistake. And there's really because when I looked at it, I'm just like, that knight doesn't go anywhere that really hurts me. And that's annoying, but it's not a problem. And I didn't think that was an issue even. What was I supposed to do there? You want me to retreat it now? See, average play, but and online again develops bad habits because now I saw this and I figured if that happened, I would do what I did. Because I just had too many at this level not punish me for it. So I get to where I think it's okay. And that's not the way to learn chess because I saw this. And this is where I'm way above these players online and even whatever the equivalent, probably 1,500 player over the board would be. Is very few people, I think, at this level, though they should be. I mean, from here, I don't know that I would say I saw that exact line and position playing out, but as soon as I would say there, or even maybe a move or two before, I'm already looking at how this knight can be trapped. So I assume, of course, you're going to want that. And I already see that my pawns are going to be very, very annoying, and they're going to control a lot of escaping options. I probably figured I would end up doing something here, as opposed to your queen coming in, which I believe it was a mistake. But I realized I would have my knight time to retreat, and I would be winning a pawn in that situation. Because while I came back, my rook would remove the defender. That knight will be trapped. And I'm just not getting much better online anymore. My pawns are good. I have a pass pawn. I'm going to do a really solid. I mean, this is advanced to expert online chess, but it's not. It's not that good. I'm going to use that king's position, which is good to get our king in the center, usually in endgame, but I'm going to use it to simplify. I'm not going to allow you to use your king and rook. I'm going to exchange rooks. You're going to like it, and you're not going to be able to stop it. And that's my 11th win in a row. I'm going to get all my time controls to 1900 or one win above. Then I'm going to do a marathon where I get to 2000 and all time control. And right now, the only thing lagging is my blitz rating. So let's win one or two more games here. And then I will sign off and rest up for my over-the-board tournament tomorrow. I want space. I have space. All right, you can have it, but you're going to weaken your stuff first. If you push that. Okay. That should be a pretty good move there. Just make you think about it. You got to defend that pawn. It's kind of a VIP. It's a very important pawn. Yeah. So now don't I win that pawn? And if you're not careful with your rook safety, I could win more. You should go there, right? Wrong. Wrong of you. Wrong of you. Wrong decision by thy enemy, I believe. Because I don't think you can say both of them. Yeah. Good. I'd be happy. I would not be happy. No, I'm fine. Faster, Dayton. You're winning by a good margin here. Can we trade some stuff? You kind of need to... No, Dayton. God dang it. Terrible. Jeez. Man, that's ugly. Super ugly. All right. Gosh, that's brutal. Okay. For now, 2 viewers, hello, welcome. I was prepping for my over the board and playing a pretty good. Yeah, I'm not using the analysis tool, but
that was a hard fight. Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to
bit.
It's important to get your pieces off their starting squares and ouch, you left your This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. That was a free pawn. You missed an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. You allowed the opponent to create a pass.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
This overlooks an opportunity. This loses material. This is the way to... You captured that free knight.
And then just poor calculation. Or poor focus, really.
You missed an opportunity to win a queen through a fork.
Yeah, because you can't take due to the pen. My goodness, Dayton. Awful.
That was a free knight. The game was close to...
Brutal.
This is the only...
All right, thanks for joining. I've been enjoying the recent mix of Blitz, Rapid, and Bullet. Well, thank you, friend. I've been enjoying playing it. Right now, I've got my Rapid to basically 1900 again. My Bullet is well over 1900. And I'm going to get my Blitz over 1900. Then I'm going to do a marathon weekend where I get them all to 2000 simultaneously. How's your chess going? And then I've got to go take a shower and walk my dog. How's your chess going? pissed. But no one likes a sad streamer, so. I just had a blitz losing streak. Remind me your ID. Yeah, it's still pretty good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to fade out of online chess in general. Otherwise, I would have switched to Elite Chess a long time ago. But I'm just familiar with chess.com, and that's what most people ask. What's your chess.com rating? I'm already here. So. Why Elite Chess? The ratings are similar. I know that. I have a Elite Chess account. I've played hundreds of games on it. I'm gonna shower. If you're still here, let's chat. If not, I will probably be on a little this weekend, but more next week. I just had a friend I used to play on Elite Chess, so I stuck to that. It makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I don't mean to be a hater, and I'm certainly not anti-capitalism. But this Tyler 1 guy has got his ass kissed and his ass kissed and his ass kissed and his ass kissed. He's not just as you mentioned your rating. I mean, you should get your ass kissed before this guy, this clown. 1921, 1308, 1030. I don't know how his puzzles are so high. It would appear he's back. Tyler 1 has come back to life. Welcome back, Tyler. It appears Tyler's going to play some blitz now. He's not giving up. But yeah, 2000's easy. I've been there, been to the motherfucking mountaintop. I've heard motherfuckers talk, saying them drop. If I ain't got a weapon, I'm going to pick up a rocket when I bust you. Eminem and I believe Nate Dogg. I've been to the pinnacle, 2000, and I'm going to be right back. I think, aside from just my chess addiction, playing too much, I wanted to be 1900 again so I could show the rise in all time controls to 2000. I'll schedule it and let you know. I'd be grateful if you share the stream with your friends once I do schedule my 1900 to 2000 and all time control marathon stream. And I hope to play you sometime soon. Hope all is well. Glad you're playing some chess.